Hey everyone, welcome to Bravo by Betches. I am so excited to be here today because we have a brand new season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, fast approaching, season 6. These ladies never disappoint. And so to get us ready for the new season, we thought that it was important to break down maybe what you missed, what you forgot, what you want to remember about last season. Season 5 was an all-timer season of Real Housewives. And so today we are breaking down the top 10 most iconic moments from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5. Starting off strong with number 10, we have something that I always enjoy on a Housewives show, which is anytime the ladies are sort of doing an activity that puts them in peril.
I don't think I like this.
Episode 2 of season 5, they went to a ropes course.
I have to have someone come get me.
Now, we've seen a ropes course on Housewives before, famously on Real Housewives of Orange County. Vicki Gunvalson thought she was about to die on a ropes course, and so when Heather has the idea to bring the group together after Lisa's Besos party, you already know it's gonna be good. Mary sees the ropes up there and she goes,
If somebody falls, is like that it?
I'm sure we're gonna be harnessed towards it.
right off the bat, things are very dramatic. Mary is continuing to be rude to Brittany because she thinks she called her poor.
Oh Lord, be with me, God.
She says she's not a listener. You know, she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
She's not even the sharpest spoon.
Mary Cosby's pen is unmatched. Meredith unfortunately cannot participate in the ropes course because she has tennis elbow from churning too much butter. Again, just an iconic excuse. Like, anytime I don't want to do something, tennis elbow from churning too much butter. What are you gonna ask me? A doctor's note? No, I have tennis elbow from churning too much butter. Lisa and Mary, you know, things kind of go wrong for them on the ropes course. Lisa says that it was harder than childbirth. Sis is the word of the day. We have a sis counter. I love anytime the Bravo producers, editors are putting in like a little counter to see how many times something happens. The sis counter gets up to 20. But the best part of this whole episode is that after the ropes course, they get lunch from a taco truck. Winter in Utah, taco truck, that's what we're doing.
I don't want to have to go number 2. I hope nobody heard me.
And Brittany makes her first major announcement of the season. She says, I want to make a toast.
Ting, 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 ting.
And the announcement is that last night, Jared Osmond, who she has broken up and gotten back together with approximately 16 times, they bought matching Louis Vuitton jewelry. And he asked her to be his girlfriend, and he made it Instagram official. Now, this is a woman in her 40s with teenage children.
Why do we care?
Mary, rude.
But she says that becoming Instagram official is a really big deal for her. And I was ready to be happy for her until Heather points out that, in fact, the post she's referring to is them at Costco, and Jared has referred to Brittany as his best friend in the caption. You hate to see it. I mean, Brittany she kind of can't catch a break this season, but Lisa declares that they are not official based on that post. And Mary's just kind of wondering, why do we care? Moving along to number 9, we have another classic theme event. I love when all the ladies have to get dressed up. And Mary Cosby chose a theme that inspired something really special. Her Audrey Hepburn breakfast at Tiffany's inspired brunch gave way to some of the most interesting bangs we've ever seen on our screen.
There's gonna be no fake bangs left on the internet.
Meredith Marks with a clip-in piece for the ages. It didn't look good, but it did look memorable, let's say. Bronwyn said that Meredith had an octopus on her head.
Whatever octopus she put on her head.
And that is just not how you want your bangs to be described, I would say. But Heather, you know, she's throwing a little shade to Bronwyn because she kisses everyone when she arrives, except Bronwyn.
Hello, absolutely not, hello.
And then makes a delightfully shady toast where she thanks Mary for including everyone. And that, of course, is a nod to her not being invited on Bronwyn's anniversary trip to Palm Springs. But Brittany confronts the group, also calling out their exclusion of her from the Palm Springs trip, and she questions Angie about bringing wine to her Mormon family night. Now, this is a classic topic on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Just how religious are these ladies? Where are the boundaries? Lisa has a tequila company. She's Mormon 2.0. It's hard to know exactly where the boundaries lie. And Angie says that she was just being nice. And how was she to know that Brittany was such a devout Mormon when she has allegedly been banging 3 different guys? This does not go over well, of course. Brittany has her relationship history with Jared. Mary says that Jared has been in her DMs. Who could say what that means? Things really go left, though, when Meredith and Whitney get into it because there's a whole conversation about what was said on a podcast, rumors flying around beneath the surface, and Meredith says, I'm gonna clear this up. I'm gonna play a clip from this podcast.
You want to go there, we can go there.
And so she gets out her phone, she has it on speaker, Whitney proceeds to grab the phone, and Meredith loses it. There's nothing I love more than when Meredith gets extremely angry about something that perhaps doesn't seem like a big deal, but she reaches across the table with her octopus bangs.
Stop it. It has volume on my
I'm turning off the volume.
Things are not going well. Meredith does get kicked out of the house, but the breakfast at Tiffany's brunch, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, let's move along to number 8. The time has come for us to discuss Lisa's meltdown over being seated in 17C.
I'm in 17C. Look, I am in 17C.
The ladies were in Palm Springs for Bronwyn and Todd's 10th wedding anniversary. This was a couples trip, so husbands were there. What could go wrong with a bunch of men and women that hate each other all in a hot tub together?
We're breaking the ice.
It was a little bit of a dicey trip. Things weren't going great. Things really peaked at the end of the trip. You know, they flew there on the private jet. You know, we love the PJ. That's always a source of conflict, but also luxury and fun on Housewives. But on the way back, the ladies were gonna be flying commercial, and Bronwyn, you know, she arranged their flights as the host of the trip, or, you know, a producer did it, but Bronwyn said that she did. Who knows how this really works? But Lisa finds out that on the way back from Palm Springs to Salt Lake City, which you guys is a long, long flight, she will have to be seated in the back of the plane in seat 17C.
I can't even remember the last time I flew in the back of the plane.
But she has a meltdown. Oh my God, I'm in 17C. She only flies first class, you guys. This is horrible for her. Bronwyn is saying she's ungrateful.
She can sit in coach for 47 minutes.
Lisa is calling the airline to see if there's anything they can do. She's even threatening that she could fly through LAX if it means that she can get a better seat, and there's just nothing to be done. Lisa is so embarrassed to be seen in the peasant seats in the back of the plane. And to this day, anytime I'm seated anywhere near 17C, I think of baby gorgeous Lisa Barlow. Pour one out for 17C. Moving right along to number 7 on our list, it's a little bit of a complicated story that was brought up throughout the season, including at the reunion, but it felt interesting enough to include here. And this is the sort of ongoing drama between Bronwyn and Lisa over Bronwyn's daughter and Lisa knowing Bronwyn's daughter's grandparents. It's a little complicated. It's a little bit like, why are we talking about this in the first place?
I know him.
But it all boils down to the fact that Bronwyn, she got pregnant with her daughter Gwen when she was just 18. She was going to BYU. It was obviously a complicated thing at the time, and her ex's parents suggested that she claim she was studying abroad and give up the baby. Now, she and the father of her daughter did not stay together, but he ended up passing away when Gwen was just a toddler. All these years, Bronwyn has not had a relationship with the parents of the father of her child who passed away. But it turns out that Lisa does know Gwen's grandparents, and she kind of thought that this could be a potential opportunity for them to reconnect, and maybe the grandparents are saying that it's time and they've never met Gwen and all of this. And Bronwyn is not thrilled that this is being brought up on camera. At the reunion, Bronwyn confronts Lisa over the comments that she made during the after show about Gwen's grandparents, and she's saying that this is a deeply personal thing and that she had not publicly shared it. She wasn't sure if she was going to publicly share it, and that Lisa kind of jumped the gun a little bit by bringing it up on the after show so everybody would know that this conversation about Gwen's grandparents was being had and that they risked harming both her and her daughter. We didn't really get a resolution here. Lisa claims that she never asserted that Bronwyn faked a miscarriage. This is a whole other thing, that apparently for a while Gwen's grandparents didn't even know that Gwen had actually been born because there was some story about Bronwyn having a miscarriage. I just gotta say, arguing back and forth of a rumor of whether somebody faked having a miscarriage, you should probably just hit the reset button and move on. Nobody's gonna win in this conversation. Lisa ended up looking messy. It's unclear kind of what the real truth is. I'm wondering in season 6 if we're gonna get any more of this, or if Bronwyn will kind of say, hey, we're not gonna talk about this on the show. But that's where we left off. Moving on, number 6, the first episode of the season started off with a real bang at Lisa's Besos party. Valentine's Day inspired, everyone was wearing red outside on this, lovely deck in the middle of the winter. Lisa is hesitating to invite Whitney because of a recent podcast comment that she has made, labeling Lisa as the villain of the show. These ladies love to get on a podcast and make a mess. Brittany is new to the group, as is Bronwyn. Brittany immediately gets off on the wrong foot with Brittany and Mary because she goes up to them and she goes, "Hey guys, I just love your costumes."
My costume?
And there is no worse thing that you could say to Mary Cosby or Bronwyn Newport than to label their fashion a costume. They say, "Costume?"
We don't wear costumes, we wear fashion.
Now, Brittany, she really dug herself into a deep hole right off the bat here. But then she makes it even worse when she tries to relate to Mary by saying, well, I think we have a lot in common because I also grew up poor.
Who is this?
Mary Cosby hears the word poor and she goes, "Poor? What are you talking about? Don't call me poor." And immediately Brittany is on Mary's shit list for the rest of the season. But that's not all that is happening at this Besos party. Of course, Angie and Meredith still have a lot of residual drama from season 4. So Angie shows up to this party with a literal physical scroll of grievances with Meredith. And she says that all of this is why she is expecting a big ol' apology from Meredith Marks. Now, does Meredith like this? Does she respond to it well? You can guess. No, she does not. And then things erupt at the dinner, Lisa versus Whitney and Angie, because it's revealed that Angie told Whitney that Lisa was mad at her for the podcast comments prior to the Besos party. So the thing that is so great about this event is that it just sets the whole season up with so many things to look at right off the bat, so many layers of drama that we can kind of pick out throughout the season. And this cast, they just do such a great job of really mixing it up, keeping things interesting, and always keeping us guessing. Next on the list, number 5, takes place on the Mexico trip at the end of the season. The fight in the Sprinter van. These ladies love nothing more than to have, epic drama inside a large vehicle. Things are already not going great on the Sprinter van because Bronwyn is upset with Lisa about not getting enough support from her. Angie has suggested to Bronwyn the night before that maybe Lisa doesn't believe her or take her concerns about her marriage seriously. So things are already going badly. And then Angie notices that Brittany has a video up on her phone and that she is recording.
Brittany, why are you recording the conversation?
She's taking a video of the back of the seat in front of her. And here's the thing. These women are all on camera. They're all on a TV show. They're being recorded. But there is no greater cardinal sin among these groups of women than making your own recording while things are happening, unfolding in real time. And the entire group is just 0 to 100 activated.
Why'd you do it?
What if she's recorded us another time?
I shouldn't have to tell you this, Brittany.
And she is like a deer caught in headlights, because first she says, "Oh my God, no, I was just trying to take a cute little selfie to send to my daughter because she got 100% on her math test. What is so wrong with that?" And then she changes her story a little bit. She says, "Oh, I was just, it was just for me to have." And they're like, "Wait, was it for you to have or was it for your daughter?" And she says, "Well, actually, I was taking, because if you press down the camera button, then it takes a little video, and I was just gonna do the peace sign." And Bronwyn says,
Listen up, Steve Jobs. I don't know how to know how the iPhone works. I know how it works.
It's so good, but there's a lot of yelling, mostly from Meredith Marks, who is in the back of this Sprinter van, inches from the camera.
You record your friends, you make up lies, you make character assassinations of people. You utterly disgust me.
It's a lot of yelling. Brittany breaks down, they stop the bus, she gets off, she's crying in the corner, Whitney goes to comfort her. But this is really just representative of kind of the way that I think Brittany was not fully prepared for what she was getting herself into. And I'm very curious to see what she will bring in season 6. Now that she has a little more Housewives experience under her belt, I don't know if she has many friends in the group, but we'll see what's gonna happen with Brittany. The number 4 moment on our list is definitely a little bit of a different change of pace. Over the course of the season, it becomes clear that Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr., is in a dark place. He's really struggling, and she is also struggling with kind of how to handle this, how to approach it, how to sit down and have the tough conversation and figure out what to do, how to help him. And we see midway through the season them having one of the most raw, honest, difficult conversations that I think we've ever seen on Housewives. And he opens up to her about how he's been struggling with addiction. And he's had suicidal thoughts, and that, you know, Mary feels like she lost touch with her son and like she has somehow failed as a mom. And it's just a beautiful, honest moment of connection with them. And at the end of the episode, we find out that Robert Jr. is going to go to a treatment program. At the reunion, she gives an update that he is on the sobriety journey. He's getting help to make him feel worthy and secure and hopeful. And so we don't know exactly where he's at right now, but overall, just seeing this moment, it was such a different side of Mary Cosby, and it felt like such a relatable human moment from somebody who a lot of the time can be a little ridiculous, a little bit, you know, in outer space. Suddenly she was like right back down on earth, just being a mom, wanting her son to be okay. And that was really amazing to see. The next thing on our list is from Angie's Mafia anniversary party. And this is the moment when Lisa loses it on Whitney, because there is this rumor percolating that Whitney's jewelry is actually just sourced from Alibaba. And she is trying to get to the bottom of who is saying that she is selling cheap Chinese jewelry online and not, you know, original, beautiful, wild rose pieces. And so she has reached out to somebody who knows an Instagram account who's posted something about the jewelry. She has confirmed, she says, that the information is coming from Lisa Barlow. And Lisa Barlow is not just gonna sit there and take this.
Who is it? Because I'm gonna sue him.
And then she really takes it up the ante. She says, I didn't do it to you. Shut the fuck up about that. And then she calls Sean, her cybersecurity guy.
Hey, Sean, I need an investigation opened.
Lisa says that she wants to get the police involved, both the LA police and the Salt Lake police.
Get the police involved and go the distance on this.
If there's one thing about Lisa Barlow, it's that she has a full backup legal team, cybersecurity, police investigators. She is gonna call up her roster of law enforcement, the intelligence agency on speed dial, and she is gonna figure it out.
I wanna go the distance on it.
I love this so much. It's just such perfect Lisa Barlow isms, and as you can tell by our baby gorgeous sign, we live for whatever comes out of Lisa Barlow's mouth, and I can't wait to see in season 6. I'm sure Lisa and Whitney are at each other's necks, just like always. I think we're gonna get some brand new Lisa Barlow isms.
Hi, baby gorgeous.
Now, number 2, like the Besos party, is another kind of full episode drama, saga, comedy, tragedy, everything mixed together. And this is Meredith's bat mitzvah, which on the face of it is one of the most lovely moments of the season. Meredith has been on this journey with her faith and her culture and sort of discovering her Jewish identity as an adult woman, which I think is amazing and beautiful. She has this bat mitzvah, which goes off without a hitch-ish, except for when she is up on the podium, she's talking about how meaningful this is to her and everything. And we can see Mary Cosby, who is late, peeking in the windows behind the podium. And it is just the most iconic image.
Oh my gosh. Oh heavens.
Because she can't figure out where the entrance is. She's late. She finally gets in. She's like climbing over people as Meredith is up talking into the microphone. And that's the nice part, because then there's the reception after the bat mitzvah service. Angie has had some things to say earlier in the season. She says that Brittany was sleeping with 3 different guys at once, and they get into a little bit of like a slut off. Bronwyn says Brittany thinks that Angie was calling her a slut because in fact,
She thinks you called her a slut because you were one.
and this really sets off Angie because she says, I've never been a slut. Why are you calling me a slut? Do you think I look like a slut? I don't look like I have high body count.
That's high body count hair. That's a high body count dress. Those are high body count heels. I think I look like a mother. In her Versace with her nipple hanging out.
And Brittany says, do you think my hair looks cheap? And Angie says, well, I think it looks a little pornish. And Angie says, take your little bump it and walk away. Of course, anytime that the slut word gets thrown around, it's complicated because slut shaming is wrong. We shouldn't slut shame anybody. Everybody can make their own choices in life. Angie is aware of this. And so she says, I'm not slut shaming her, I'm hair shaming her. I'm not saying she's a slut, I'm saying her hair looks slutty. in nature. Now Lisa is like kind of trying to do damage control with Brittany, but she does say, hey girl, like.
But you know what? You do need
Okay, Meredith, no.
And one thing about Lisa, if there is something that she loves, she is gonna secure that brand deal. Because just like Wendy's, just like Diet Coke, just like always being in the drive-thru, she's gonna get that Kerastase Thermatique check. And this is when Meredith asks Angie to leave for calling everyone a slut at her bat mitzvah, which I gotta say, fair enough. But man, high body count hair, truly one of the most iconic things that Angie has given us since the Greek flag sunglasses. And I can't wait to see what she cooks up next in season 6. Now the time has come for our most iconic moment of season 5. Now, if you've been mentally making a note, you might know what's coming. And it is, in fact, the season finale, the final dinner in Mexico. Heather gives another one of her iconic speeches, which I'm sure was not assisted at all by production. But she says, look, we are so horrible to each other in this group. There is so much out there in the world being horrible to us. Why are we fighting with each other at this table when we should be uniting to fight against everybody out there in the world that says mean things about us all the time? And we all have our personal burn books. Our burn books aren't actual burn books, they're text messages that we have sent about each other. So everybody get out your phones, and we are gonna find the meanest thing that we have said about somebody else at the table, and we are going to pull up that text, and we are going to give the phone to the person we texted it about, and they are gonna read it out loud to the group, and we're gonna burn it and forget it and move on. Just diabolical work. I don't know who came up with this, but give them an Emmy, give them a Tony, give them a Nobel Prize, because some of the text messages that are read at this table are just all-timers. We start off with Heather reading a text from Mary about her, saying that she changed once she became successful and that it went to her head and that she's forgotten the people that were there for her in the beginning. I mean, that's like, it's not the most dramatic of the texts that we see at this table, but it is one of the most, I would say, like, personal. It hurts, and you can tell that it hurts Heather to hear that. But Brittany reads a text from Bronwyn, again, just cutting deep. Bronwyn says that Brittany is emotionally manipulative, she parentifies her children, and trauma bonds her relationships, really just coming for the jugular. And Brittany says, you don't know me well enough to say this stuff about me. But honestly, after watching the season, she's not wrong. But Bronwyn has it coming because she reads a text from Angie. And I'm just gonna read this because it's really poetry at work.
Oh, she's already crying.
Bronwyn seems nice. I like her business plan. Marrying a guy who has one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel. But I like mine better. I'd rather be self-made. She's nice, but she doesn't listen because her ears are stitched down to her face so tight she can't hear anything. She wears a hot dog outfit to remind us she sucked her way to the top. Ooh, I mean, Angie, take a bow. Really inspired work here. One foot on a grave and one on a banana peel is just nasty work. I'm glad we got to read it. And Bronwyn, you know, she's like, don't say sorry because you said it and you meant it, and it is what it is. But the final text that we get, and the thing that really just ruins whatever sort of vibe we had going on to begin with, is Whitney's text that she has written about Lisa. And Lisa reads it. She says, so I was at a party with Justin, and a woman approached us saying that if we ever want to bring in a third, she's our girl. In fact, Lisa and John can vouch for her because she's made out with Lisa while jerking off John.
What the fuck is that?
The fun is over. I don't know if anybody was having fun at this table before, but they're certainly not now because while most of these texts are mean, shady, hurtful, nasty, rude, unkind, Whitney has taken it in a bit of a different direction and used her text message choice as a way to introduce a new rumor onto the show that we have not seen on camera before. Suddenly, Lisa now has to combat an allegation that she and John have been, fooling around, let's just say. This is really where the season leaves off. Nobody's happy, nobody's in a good mood, except for me, watching it on my couch, just loving every second of the mess. And that is really the beautiful thing about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You never know exactly who's gonna be getting along, who's gonna be fighting, who's gonna be best friends all of a sudden, or who will be enemies that you never expected, but they are always gonna bring you something interesting. So season 6, I can't wait to see what new and exciting, iconic moments it brings our way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to our channel. We put out new episodes of the Mention It All podcast every Tuesday that you can watch right here. So make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss an episode or any of our iconic guests. And until next time, be cool. Don't be all like uncool.